Sepper here. Took a little break and happy to be back to share another example with you on how I use Mind. Yeah, it's becoming quite fun to use this because, again, we're using this tool in ways and trying to show you this tool in ways that are live, like are real examples of how we're using Mind. Again, a tool to help people find clarity, a journaling tool for some, if that's an easier definition. But for me, it continues to be something that I use in the moment. I think today I wanted to share an example of a change that is coming about in my life. And really, the backstory is that this morning I woke up in a state of anxiety and panic. And when I wake up that way, which is not often, but it does happen, there's a lot of questions that start kind of spinning around and what's going on? Why do I feel this way? I've definitely learned over time to engage less with the anxiety and learn to be more present with it, to let it be here with me. And I use Mind to help me navigate that moment because there's an insight there somewhere, like something's happening to me, right? I'm anxious about something that is about to happen, or I'm anxious about something from the past, or maybe a change that is coming about. And I think that's where the insights are. That's where we can learn something, and Mind helps me engage again with that process, right? So I'll get into the entry in a moment. I've already run it because I did it a bit earlier from this video, and I want to walk you through sort of what I learned from today's entry. This is just something I wanted to share around, change and emotional reaction. I think this is not necessarily going to be accurate for everyone, but it's when people ask me, how I'm learning to deal with anxiety, or it can also be like very positive emotions like hope, or emotions that are like around like ambition or being excited about an idea. I like to think about it as sort of this beginning of an even keel moment where you're just going about life, and there's this rise of an emotion that comes about, right? And this emotion can be both positive or negative. For example, you could be excited about an event that you're going to or a friend that you're going to meet, right? And it can be negative, like around something that is making you anxious, that you're afraid of, that is going to challenge you or make you uncomfortable. And I think when these sort of emotions rise, right, we tend to start reacting quite quickly, and I think the reactions can sort of come about at different stages of this reaction, and over time you learn that these reactions may or may not be always positive, as in you may not know why you're reacting yet. And what I like to do, and what I think Mind helps me do in a way, is to notice when these moments of inflections appear. Sort of, okay, I was fine a few hours ago, and now I'm feeling not fine. Like something's off, or again, something is great. Like I'm feeling a rise. Mind for me is sort of like a way to initiate like a secondary process that sort of starts to help me watch what is happening. It's sort of like I think this is ultimately what self-awareness is like, can you separate yourself from the moment itself? Can you be aware that this moment is taking place, and as it's taking place, can you start to watch what is happening? Can you start to become a participant in describing how you are reacting, or to what you are reacting, or what is causing you to react? And so today's entry is really about that. It's about waking up this morning. I'm moving to a new home here in a few days of time, maybe less than 2 weeks, It's going to be my fifth move this year, because I've been dealing with some issues with my home in the past video, and yeah, it's super uncomfortable. And I think I woke up, TLDR, and I think we can read the summary here. The TLDR is that I woke up feeling incredibly anxious. There was this kind of like unknown source of what was going on, and although I knew that the move was coming, right? This is something that, with my wonderful roommate, I've been talking to him about. Like, I think this morning, the emotions of that finally hit, and I wasn't ready for it. I didn't know that it was going to hit this morning, that I was finally going to realize that things were about to change. And change is so uncomfortable, because it by default brings into the picture new things. It brings into the picture new possibilities, new problems, new challenges, new environments. And that's just scary. And I think, having a chance to have used Mind, I think it helped me kind of accept that I was uncomfortable this morning, that I don't know what is going to come from this move. And I think you can see kind of how it catches both of these emotions around anxiety and sadness. I'm sad that things are about to change. I also know that they are going to change, and that it's okay, and that I'm so grateful for these last few months that I had and that I've shared with my great friend and my roommate. And so just having a moment to come into harmony with that and accept both sides of that, I think was something that was nice for me this morning in using Mind. Again, I'll kind of quickly go through some of the questions, maybe just to see what they spark. How are you coping with the anxiety and sadness that comes with the upcoming move? I think for me, like, using Mind is the thing that comes to my mind. Like right now, it doesn't give me answers. It doesn't give me, step-by-step solutions, but it makes me feel good because I'm participating and engaging in trying to understand what's going on and trying to see what's happening. And that already provides me a lot of relief, because I don't feel like it's happening to me. I can be a part of whatever's happening, and I can participate in trying to, ask myself questions, try to understand why I'm feeling that way, and learn something new. And that's all that it's about. I don't know that there's sort of a final answer that you should be hoping for, but you definitely have to sort of engage with it in order to learn something. And that's, I think, what I'm doing right now with the anxiety. It is super sad. I don't really know if I have a great answer on how I'm dealing with that sadness. I think connected to the second question, I think we've had some conversations around how we're gonna maintain our relationship after I move on, and we talked about doing dinners, and I think more will come from that. I think accepting that you're sad is probably a first step, right? That, yeah, like, I'm gonna miss him, and it was an unbelievable experience to live with this person. And I wrote in my entry, and you can go back, that I didn't expect to go through that in my life, even just a few months ago. And having had the chance to live with this person is something that I will always remember. And it's something that I've definitely learned a lot from in so many unexpected ways. And even just as I'm describing that to you, I think I'm finding some relief, because sadness is soft. It's like, it's a part of me, and don't have to be scared of that. You know, like you don't have to fight against sadness. Sadness is a part of life, and whether things actually die or not is irrelevant, but things transform. And sadness doesn't just erase itself, it persists with you. And if you deny yourself that, you know, you deny yourself of a reality, which is that I'm incredibly sad to be moving on from living with him, and yet life is taking me in that direction. And that's my job to deal with that. That's my job to deal with that sadness. And I remember actually that this is evoking a similar memory from a few months ago when my parents came to visit, and when they were about to leave, I remember feeling a similar sense of emotions rising, and, you know, starting to be super heady about it, but really coming down on, you know, the last day that they were here in town, and just telling them that I was sad. You know, like I was sad that that they were leaving, you know. And I'm sad, you know. And that's okay. It's okay. And now, you know, my mind can shift to remembering and just enjoying the wonderful moments that we had together here in this house, because there will be so many others. And just have so many memories to think back on and be able to learn from. And ever so slightly moving closer to happiness, even though this change is not comfortable and new things that I don't know about are about to take place. And to carry that sadness, to not be afraid of it. Yeah, I didn't think that I would be having a moment here, you know. Someone once told me that maybe having a moment like that means that it was sincere, you know, like very sincere and real. And you know, some of you will be watching some of these videos, and I promise you that there's something beautiful about participating in moments like this with yourself. And sometimes I feel like we deny ourselves this moment of simply accepting that something is happening. And now, you know, because I have found an insight in myself, I can go share that with someone. I can go share this moment with my friend. And honor the connection and the friendship that we have. And to me, that's everything. That's everything. It's hard to be here right now and to do this, but to not do it would also be to not show you the reality of, I think, what a lot of us navigate more often than we want to admit. And I think this is probably a good moment to kind of close off this example and this session. And I think my roommate is here, and so I'd like to go talk to them and express myself to them and share that. So again, kind of a wonky example, but I appreciate that maybe this will help someone, or yeah. And so I'll talk to you guys on the next one. See you.